Hey guys, thanks a lot for clicking on this video. This is the second video with the Firebird. The first time we swapped in the Turbo 400, brought the car back from the dead, and made 3 passes down the drag strip. It ran a best pass of 1442 at 94 miles per hour, and that was with full interior, including the spare tire and jack, and about 3/4 of a tank of gas. So the next day I took it to the transfer station to put it on the scales, and with a 3/4 tank of gas and me in it, just like it was on the starting line, it weighed 3,680 pounds. So in this video, I'm going to see how much weight I can remove from it without totally gutting it so that it becomes uncomfortable to drive. Just how many extra unneeded items can I take out? And then I'm going to try to do a couple of free mods and a little bit of tuning on the engine to see if we can get a few more horsepower, and we'll see just how much quicker it can go for no money. Gosh, every part of this thing I pull out, there's trash underneath. Well guys, there is a pile of stuff. Here's my minimized exhaust system, which is a 3-inch Dynomax race bullet straight off the Y pipe and a chunk of the original exhaust for a turn down. I was hoping to free up some horsepower by eliminating the cat, but it turns out there was no cat in the cat, so I've actually been running around totally uncorked and didn't realize it. For the record, the glass pack dumped under the middle of the car is significantly louder than the straight pipe dumped under the trunk. Cooler engines make more power and are less prone to detonation, so out with the 180 thermostat and in with the 160. From the factory, the LT1 throttle bodies have a water jacket designed to heat the throttle body and prevent it from freezing in Arctic conditions. With a $2 3/8 male-to-male hose barb, you can bypass it, which has actually been proven repeatedly on a dyno to pick up between 2 and 7 horsepower. Even at only 2, a horsepower per dollar is by far the most cost-effective money you'll ever spend on a hot rod. Next up, removing the smog pump and tubing. Yeah. The air pipe fittings on some years of LT1s are exactly the same threads as the oil drain plug on a Cummins. So tell the flunky at Napa you need 2 of the oil drain plugs for a 2000 Dodge 3500 diesel and you're good to go. The flange even perfectly matches the casting boss on the manifolds. Well, I was hoping that smog pump was going to weigh like 20 pounds, but it probably wasn't even 2 pounds. Alright guys, I've got Tuner Pro, EE Hack, and Flash Hack. And I'm no expert, but I have watched a whole bunch of Strong Speedworks videos, so I'm going to see if I can figure something out here. Well guys, I think I'm data logging. So the data log gave me a good look at my timing curve, and I was able to look at knock, and there's really no knock, so all is good there. But as far as air-fuel ratio goes, I really didn't get much data, because as soon as you give it much throttle at all, it goes into power enrichment mode, which is a good thing, but that ignores the narrowband O2 sensors, so it does not log any sort of air-fuel ratio. I have no idea what it's really doing. So I picked up this AEM wideband O2 sensor. I threw it in here on the driver's side head pipe. I'm really looking forward to permanently installing that wideband O2 and wiring it in through the PCM harness so I can actually data log it with all the other data through EE Hack. But for tonight, I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to be back at the drag strip on Sunday, and I just don't have that many hours left. So for tonight, we're literally just shoving the wires right in through the window. And we've got the gauge zip tied to the steering column. Well guys, I am closing in on the tune here. That last one was pretty good. That was kind of like 12.4 and 12.5-ish for most of that second gear pull. So I'd love to get it at like 12.7. So I'm doing it the cheater way. I'm using the power enrichment table here. So I'm gonna go to the power enrichment correction per coolant temp, and I'm just gonna give it another multiply by 0.98 across the board here. So a lot of what I'm having to do right now is actually undo what I did the other night, because no matter what I did, the thing started to lean out around like 45 or 4800 RPM, so I kept cranking in more fuel correction. Well, it turned out my stupid fuel filter was plugged up, which should have been the first thing I checked. I mean, it's like, you know, idiot 101. And that was on my list of things to do initially with the car. I mean, you know, I changed all the fluids and filters and stuff. Well, fuel filter was on that list too, but I just kind of didn't get to it. And then things seemed to run and drive so well, I thought, oh, great, we're there. So I didn't realize until I had the wideband that the thing was leaning out, you know, like I said, above 4,500 or so, which means that first trip to the drag strip, you know, I was suffering from fuel delivery problems and didn't even realize it, which kind of makes sense because 1440s at 94 is, well, 1440s are kind of on the slow end of stock for one of these cars. And I thought with 3000 stall and it's got like a cold air intake and what turned out to be open exhaust, it should have, you know, been quicker than the slow end, I would have thought. And then on top of that, 94 miles an hour is slow for any of them. So that's indicating kind of, you know, we're just down on power. And so if the thing wasn't getting enough fuel pressure, obviously that would be contributing to that. So as soon as I changed that filter, I went to rich across the board because all my previous corrections suddenly had pressure to work with. I can't talk and click at the same time. What am I looking for? Flash hack. Load bin. LT1 bin files. To number 8. Get the key on. Right calibration. So anyway, all that is gearing up to say that we've removed weight from the car. We've got colder thermostat. We've got the throttle body coolant bypass, so we should have a nice cool intake charge coming in. You know, we've removed even more exhaust, so, you know, it kind of comes under weight removal because it turned out that pipes were open, so there probably isn't really any actual horsepower difference there. And then now we've got a tune where we know we're going to be in the mid 12s for air fuel ratio, which stock, I think, at wide open throttle, they go down to like 11 something, which is rich. And then past that, it's actually going to get all the fuel from the fuel pump to the fuel rail now. So all that should add up to, it should go a little bit faster tomorrow. But obviously it won't know until we get there and run it down the track. And it's going to be cooler tomorrow than it was the first time. I think they're predicting like low to mid 60s as the high tomorrow. So it should be pretty good air. Procedure complete. So anyway, please, in the comments, before I get to the drag strip, let me know if you think it's going to go faster or slower, or what do you think it'll run. It did 1442 at 94 last time out. And so let me know what your prediction is for this time. We'll have a little game. All right. Thanks very much. That's better. That's 12.5 and 12.7. Try one more here before I get a ticket. Luckily with no speedometer, I'm never speeding. 12.6, 12.7. All right, that is going to be the tune. Well, my temporary wideband installation did just fine, but now we're back to the factory narrowbands. Alright, that's back together. That means I should be able to pull up to a stoplight without the engine quitting now. Alright guys, I'm heading away the car again, but I still got just a hair too much fuel. Perfect. Time at the drag strip, I weighed this car and it was 3680. So this is the same scale at the same transfer station, and we'll see what it says this time. Hi, could you just tell me what the car weighs? 3520. Thank you very much. Well, there you go, guys. We're 160 pounds lighter. That's got to add up to something. My first priority at the drag strip today was to make a pass with my dad riding along. This track allows passengers in 14-second or slower cars as long as both of you have helmets. Cool.
Incredible. I think you had a pretty good light too. That'll happen.
It wasn't red? I didn't even look.
I think you did like a 70 light.
Cool.
It'll happen so fast.
I know. It's like there's no, because I was thinking like, oh, I wonder what RPM, and it's like, no, you're just gonna go.
Because it was a solo pass, I mean, it just went like this.
Yeah. Thank you. Look at that. 1389.
Whoa.
It's faster.
Well, they won't let us go together again.
After this run, I was kindly informed that NHRA has a rule against cameras on helmets, so I didn't get any other video. Altogether, I got 7 passes in. The last one was the best at 1366 at 99.7 with a 193/60 foot and an 022 reaction time. I'd love to give the credit to my weight removal and first timer tuning skills, but the biggest improvement was most likely from changing the stupid fuel filter. Either way, picking up 8/10 and 5 miles per hour for less than $100 is better than I hoped for, and I'm having a blast with what's no longer the slowest, but definitely still the cheapest car at the track. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you on the next one.